So this has been a wild ride with the Nintendo versus Yuzu lawsuit, more specifically Tropic Haze LLC, which I think is part of the issue here with this lawsuit being an easy target. You have a company that's registered in the U.S. And that I've been talking about that. But okay, the lawsuit's been settled out of court, didn't go before judge, jury, that kind of thing, and maybe that was due to the lawyer that Yuzu had saying, "Hey, this is not looking good. To save some money and time, maybe this is the best approach." And a lot of people are looking at this as, man, the repercussions, the aftermath, Nintendo going after emulation. But the one thing to make clear here is that it wasn't specifically like, "Hey, the Switch emulation." It was the encryption and decryption of the cryptographic keys, using the legitimate, product keys and stuff to decrypt and bypass the DRM. And according to the DMCA, you cannot, circumvent these types of measures. So it was kind of a strange thing to look at. But yeah, I mean, it all does have to do with emulation, obviously. It just seems like Yuzu became a target, not just because they have a company registered in the US, but because of the things going on in the Discord, the Patreon, the early access, the stuff that they were doing with online play that was quickly scrapped, the Patreon exclusive things, things being found in the Discord of developers having a stash of Switch ROMs to download for developer use type of thing. There was a lot going on here that really wasn't looking good. Nintendo was prying. They had them prying eyes on everything to do with Yuzu. But Bunny here put out a statement earlier today, and I wanted to go over this real quick. As I've had a couple people hit me up because there is mention of Citra here, and people are like, "Oh my God, Citra's going to disappear as well." Not at the moment, I don't think. Now, if you're not aware, Bunny is a big contributor to Citra, right? A lot of commits to the emulator and whatnot. But with this statement here, I don't necessarily think Citra is going away. Yuzu is going away due to the final judgment in this case. But let's go ahead and take a look at this statement real quick. He states, "Hello, users and Citra fans. We write today to inform you that Yuzu and Yuzu's support of Citra are being discontinued, effective immediately." So Yuzu gone. Yuzu developer support of Citra, that's ceasing. Doesn't mean Citra is going away. Not yet, anyway. But goes on to state, "Yuzu and its team have always been against piracy. We started the projects in good faith out of passion for Nintendo and its consoles and games. And we're not intending to cause harm. But we see now that because our projects can circumvent Nintendo's technological protection measures and allow users to play games outside of authorized hardware, they have led to extensive piracy." This is all being told to say this stuff. I bet you this individual in the back of their head's like, "Screw this noise. F all this." But they're being told, you got to make a statement like this. So they state they led to extensive piracy. In particular, "We have been deeply disappointed when users have used our software to leak game content prior to its release and ruin the experience for legitimate purchasers and fans." I don't think they really cared, but okay. Not with everything that was going on here. But like I said, this is a statement that they were probably, lawyer said these are certain things you need to say, per the, judgment here. But they go on to say, "We have come to the decision that we cannot continue to allow this to occur. Piracy was never our intention." I mean, I love emulation. I'm not against emulation, but what is the root there? Like, what is it meant for? Oh, let's say the historical, preservation of games. No, it's for the access. Like, let's just be honest. I'm greedy. I'm selfish. I want to play some damn games. I'm gonna use emulation. I don't want to spend tons of money for old stuff. I'm not talking about Switch. Like, I don't actively emulate Switch. I've been very clear on that. But emulation in general, I don't want to spend tons of money on certain things. I'm greedy. I want to play the game. I'm gonna freaking emulate it. That's what it's. I mean, okay, it's for selfish reasons, but whatever, man. Pirate away. I don't care. We believe that piracy of video games on video game consoles should end. Bullshit, really? Piracy of video games and on game consoles should end. Effective today. We will be pulling our code repositories offline, discontinuing our Patreon. Remember, they're making like 30, 50,000, like not much on Citra, but like Yuzu, they're making a fortune, man. I mean, I don't know behind it, cost wise, what they were getting at the end of the day, but they were making some money. But they're discontinuing Patreon and the Discord servers and soon shutting down our websites. We hope our actions will be a small step toward ending piracy of all creators' works. Thank you for your years of support and for understanding our decision. Like I said, obviously, okay, I mean, I'm not trying to get in trouble here saying that this is not what he means, but it's my opinion that this statement was, a legal statement that was said you need to hit these things to please Nintendo, even if they didn't mean them. That's my opinion. I'm not saying for a fact that Bunny here doesn't really believe what they're saying, but I just, I've got a mind of my own here, and this is crazy. But at the end of the day, is there other ways? Like I saw people saying, why were they actively developing a Switch emulator during its life cycle? That's just what happens. Like if you have the skills to create, an emulator, why would you wait? You know what I mean? Why would you wait for the life cycle to be over? Like I've said, I prefer to play my, Switch legitimately until after the life cycle. That's my own personal decision. But as a software engineer or creator who has an interest in this, I mean, that's when it starts. Start taking a look at the hardware while it's out there and you work on it. It's just the other things that they've done in the process of this, the Patreon, there were some shady things going on. Some people accuse them of being greedy, holding back updates and things like that. I don't know. I'm not trying to get into the drama of the behind the scenes stuff that I've seen mentioned. I've seen a lot of that in my comments and elsewhere. But it's just, like I said, the way they decrypted the encryption, the process of that, the evidence found within Discord of like, oh, we don't support piracy at all, but then it's like illegally download, these product keys type of thing. And there's a lot of that in those court documents showing that Nintendo found all these discussions. So it was it was the approach, the public appearance type of thing. Having an LLC instead of just being an anonymous person out there with an open source project, the approach it was bound to happen with all these things that, were put into place, right? That's just of my opinion, but yeah, it's crazy. It's interesting. Curious to hear what you guys think, but there you go. That's the update. Bye.